So ask her, have you heard that? And my great grandma late great grandma would be like, how did you hear that? And she would say, I just heard. So don't take my word for it. So it is part of their false flag to send the APC and Tinubu on a white goose chase. Atiku won't contest in 2027. And in fact, the idea of that Obi kind of mentioned himself spending 4 years, right, is not a slip of tongue. There is actually a plot behind that, and Atiku is very much in on that. Again, it may actually not even be a secret after all. At least remember, right, that you heard that on Mayegun's Diary Political. Let Alhaji, Dr. Haruna, let him finish his own special appeal to Atiku. Then we're going to go to something else. Here.
That was his grievance. So why should it now be okay to say that it should remain in the north? That time when they were advocating and saying PDP has said it must be north-south, and that time it was the turn of the south. But even though that was what PDP stood for, what did Atiku do? He stood again from the north. He's trying to do the same thing. Mr. Atiku, you're doing the same thing again. Tinubu is now going for 4 years. Then there's another 4 more years for a southerner. Since Tinubu has destroyed Nigeria, and it's obvious Nigerians don't want him. So that's why now it's good to allow it to stay in the south. To stay in the south, it shouldn't stay with Tinubu. And there is a region that has not been given a chance. Since 1999, they've not had a chance. Southeast. What is the problem that people don't want to be? Is it because people are scared? What are they scared for? Because they want to continue corruption? They want to continue to loot the resources of the nation, destroy the nation, while people are suffering, they are enjoying. Anybody that's standing to support Atiku now, I think they are supporting a second term of Tinubu. I know I came in peace, but it's getting to me right now. I don't know what else to say. Mr. Atiku, please do the right thing. And I call upon you, David Mark and Aregoshola, please, you people do the right thing. All the people that are under ADC, except if you people have already done a secret deal and it's all window dressing from the outside, making it look as if we are all coming together in a coalition. But already behind closed doors, they've already decided who will be. The only thing you can prove people like myself wrong, that there was no prior arrangement to all this so-called coalition, then do an open primary. In fact, today, do a national poll to ask people, in this ADC coalition, who would you want to be the flag bearer or the presidential candidate under this coalition? Just ask normal Nigerians and hear what they will say. Don't allow a few people to go and say they are doing a primary when we know how corrupt the primaries are. We saw it in APC and even the last one in PDP. The same thing. You try an open primary. Call all the people to come that are in support of this coalition and let them do a primary. I can tell you for sure that there is no way that Atiku will win. I'm telling you, don't hand over 2027 win on a platter of gold to Tinubu by bringing in Atiku. Please, Mr. Atiku, do the right thing. Your close friends have called upon you. Northerners have called upon you. People from the Middle Belt. People from the South. What else do you want? Do you want God to show to you that it is not his will for you to be president? He gave you a chance to be vice president. Shouldn't you be happy with that? You believe in the will of Allah. Why don't you accept it? We can't afford another 4 years of Tinubu after these 2 years are done. So the time has come. We must all stand together and say, no, not anymore. Atiku, do the needful. This is my last call to you. I'm not going to do another broadcast to call upon you. They say a word is enough for the wise. I'm not the only one that has called upon you. Many well-meaning Nigerians have called upon you. And I know that Nigerians will win against anybody's personal ambition. Why should Nigerians be the one that should be destroying their own nation? When we have everything that it takes to build a great nation, we have what it takes to make Nigeria the pride of Africa, not just Africa, but many nations of the world. That's why I'm calling. If you know Alhaji Atiku, please send him this video. Share this video and let it go wide. If you have not subscribed to my channel on YouTube, please go ahead and do that and share this broadcast to as many people as you can. Also like it. And if you are watching me on Facebook, please follow me on my page and also share it with as many people as you can. I want to say thank you for listening. May God bless you and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And may God bless you personally. You heard him. To those of you who are yet to possibly look him up, you might do that right away or after this broadcast. Search for him, Dr. Haruna on YouTube, on Facebook, especially those of you who would like, to always says, hear the northern perspectives on the issues about that contraption. It can actually help so that you can get to know that maybe most of the things they told you about the northerners, maybe they are not all the truth. Because there are people who are actually standing up out there, speaking up, using their own little kind of like a medium or platforms, right? To express, pretty much like a reasonable opinions, objective ones on the side. If you are a one Nigerianist, it will work for you. Now, let's put that aside. Still, no, not aside, okay? The right to reply, I think, the Corlus men have been, turning the heads over heels, trying to kind of either douse the tension of their own government's failure, deflect, or even create any form of a distraction themselves, as much as So here is a Sunday Dare. Yeah, the former minister under Bukwari, and now a special advisor to Tinubu on media, I think, and communication, right? He has this to say that, you know what? They have no single worry about all of this. They all say that, don't they? Here, the first one.
How many leaders could have done that?
How disappointing would it be for you if it's this man that you've known for several years, about 30 years, this man that you think you understand how his mind is running and what works in his mind? How damaging would it be for him if he doesn't get a re-election?
President Bola Tinubu will be re-elected
in 2027.
Yes.
What gives you that confidence?
Primarily because from the policies and the reforms he has put in place. And also because, policies take time. When you look at the top economic experts, they give it a time of between 4 to 6 years before you can really see. I'm talking about key policies now, not even initiatives.
That if the voters see
but
those
we have
reforms.
seen, when you look at the alignment of policies touching on key sectors of the economy, look at the solid minerals economy, for instance, lithium and copper and all of this. The size of the world is now. It took this president to give the support, the focus, that sector. Our oil sector, what the story before now is different from what we have. The educational sector, the agri sector, the health sector. As we speak, 5,000 primary health centers are being reinvigorated. Already 1,000 are fully operational. I can go on and on. Let me just, I think by the share, when you sit down and you look at, in just 2 years, you look at the sheer number of policies, the sheer number of initiatives that have been onboarded by this administration, you will see a leadership adept and conversant with development. But more critically, a president that understands that this giant has been punching below its belt, who is now waking up some of those critical things that we prefer to sidestep or just procrastinate about. He's beginning to interrogate them and beginning to confront them, the devils that have held this country down. So that's what happens often.
He's looking at those policies are at the detriment of his electability.
Well, see, that's an interesting postulation. So the line I've been trying to draw right from the beginning is that As a leader, you have the choice to choose between embracing populism or forgoing populism and saying, I will do what is right for my country and for my people. And people often say, oh, don't compare us to other leaders. No, leaders are leaders. Lee Kuan Yew and others, Margaret Thatcher and others, they made a difference because they chose the road less traveled. When Margaret Thatcher left, she wasn't the most popular person. But history, Britain looks back today. They pick out some of our policies and they say, no, she was ahead of
And
her
we
time.
hear that Bola Tinubu says he wants to be the Lee Kuan Yew of Nigeria.
Well, I've not
Is that
had,
what he mounts?
I've not had that anywhere. He just wants to make sure that he turns things around, he improves the economy of this country. He's somebody who believes that without a strong economy, every other thing will not work.
Oh,
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
That is what they do. You see, they understand their audience very well. And their audience, they are in two categories. The educated ones, easily kind of like swayed or, easily mesmerized minds, sort of, people that will be like, oh my God, listen to that grammar. I picked some of them. Said, Tinubu's policies will make him be re-elected. His policies, or the number of policies he's onboarded, has shown that he is interested in building a strong economy. And his decisions have led to developmental ideas that are conversant with the God knows what he added to it. He shall drop all that nonsense. Then he added that at this point, he has awakened the giant that has been punching below the belt all this while. What the hell does that even mean? In all these word salads, it's just to blow you here, blow you there, and tell you that, you know what? His policies may pretty much not working for you yet. Okay? But they are for the future possible tenses. No, future present tenses, kind of. Then they mentioned Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher didn't, while she was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, she didn't buy herself a new private jet, a new yacht, She didn't. She wasn't. She didn't take 100 people to Dubai for climate change meeting. She didn't. Not what you rogues have done with that contraption, right? There are policies of floating the naira, which is a fancy word for devaluing your currency with no production, no nothing, no plan. And they wants to be the Lee Kuan Yew. Lee Kuan Yew of where? Kolu. But he's confident, he's probably right when he said Tinubu will win the 2027 elections. Depends on what you want to describe as winning. So Kolu is an illegitimate president of Nigeria right now. Yeah, he's that you can tell from his from his daily appearances and how much or the kind of people he's been associating with as a president of Nigeria. So he's always out there looking for the validation, nothing else, just a validation to remind him that he's the president of that contraption. But he's fine, because according to him, whether you like it or not, you abuse me, you do this or that, I am the president. So it depends on what you call victory. If you say he rigged himself in, he's going to rig himself in, they don't care. It's not about your election. And this is the part where the Dari Oponolojo Sunday had to talk about opposition, as they are not really worried.
Going into the election of 2027, the Bola Tinubu and the APC does not have a chance.
Seun, you are an experienced journalist, and we know that we've seen over time these narratives being pushed for every election. It's no different. These narratives, there are people whose work is to push certain narratives, and they're the same. When Obasanjo was there, forget the talk about third term. We had the same narratives. We will write the election. We will override this. When the tsunami that took over all the states in the Southwest occurred, narratives. So the narratives will come, but the narratives are not the facts. Like I said, you can't call the result of a football match even before the referee signals the start.
They say if INEC is neutral, that there is no chance on green F for a Bola Tinubu and an APC re-election in 2027. But if you look at what...
So who is making that declaration?
No, that you heard El-Rufai say that they will send the president packing.
Is El-Rufai 110 million Nigerians that will vote? How many voters does El-Rufai command? Even if you command them, can you decide who they will cast their votes for? You know what the Yorubas say? So let me see. Let me. You brought in El-Rufai, and I have respect for him. But this idea to equate El-Rufai with Nigeria, to equate El-Rufai with millions of votes, I think is an overreach.
Atiku has said it. Peter Obi has said it.
For one El-Rufai, there are several other El-Rufais who command larger votes, better influence, who are key to the transformation taking place in this country. And we're focused on looking at other key Nigerians.
Oh, look at
El-Rufai is not bigger than any other Nigerian because everybody has a stake in this country.
I mean,
we must respect that.
There are those who fear that El-Rufai can bring this government down and can stop this president because he knows he was one of those who were helped to form the party.
My response to that would be go and read Obasanjo's book, My Command.
I've read it.
A living testimony to the very essential core of the person we're talking about. You know Obasanjo is former president. Mm-hmm. You know who made El-Rufai a minister? You know that? Mm-hmm. When you talk about the 4 or 5 close-set ministers with him, El-Rufai was there. If you want to list 4 people that know El-Rufai, essentially, when he was at his best and politically, Obasanjo, I will stick with Obasanjo's testimony about El-Rufai. You said you've read the book.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just one of the millions of people who are going to be watching this.
No, I don't want to make this an El-Rufai whatever. No, honestly.
But what was it?
Shall we? You're trying to...
No.
But you see, what I've gleaned from there, you know shifting sands?
Mm-hmm.
That is somebody you cannot... is somebody that can change on you. Somebody who... And I think everybody is driven by interest. Your interest, the moment it doesn't align with mine, you have a right to walk away.
Because he says that he sees that is the point that where is not it started changing when he sees that this government does not have the interest of Nigerians at heart. And I'm worried.
This is a person who stood up to make sure that power returns to the South. He led that battle. At some point, he went to court to challenge the former president, Muhammadu Buhari. This is a person who campaigned on the platform of APC with Bola Tinubu very fervently. This is a person who was part of building up the manifesto of the APC. Listen to me. So you have a journey of 10 kilometers. And this person was part of that journey for 7 kilometers.
He said it was a journey to nowhere. That's why he backed up.
But he was part of that journey.
He said the journey was to nowhere.
He was at the table. It was at the meeting. So when did it occur to him that this journey was a journey?
He agreed and he took ownership. He said he was responsible.
Should we be responsible for the
He
fact
called
that
this government a demon, a devil that he helped, an evil that he helped create, and he says that he takes responsibility, but he will also be the architect of sending that demon out.
Everybody tries to look for a scapegoat to justify their actions. But my point is this, and it's valid. You start a journey with somebody. You're part of the foundation. You're part of building the infrastructure. And the infrastructure is ready. The rooms are equipped.